Big right hand.
Big cut.
By Rampage Jackson.
And that's it. That is all she wrote for Hercules right there.
Danielle Taylor throwing some heavy shots and ends the fight. Cutler is out. Insane airplane toss by Charles Krazy.
Landed takedowns. Huge knees. Two huge knees.
And there she is, Ronda Rousey making her pro debut in excellent fashion. Jamie Colleen just destroying. Cutler says, no more, I'm out. And a quick look at our rules of combat based on 3 5-minute rounds and of course 5 5-minute rounds for championship bouts. And of course in the amateur division that changed to 3 3-minute rounds and of course 5 3-minute rounds for championship bouts in the amateur division. It's based on the 10-point must system, judging criteria, and to get things started, we'll go ahead and throw it to the cage.
It's time for 3 5-minute rounds of 145-pound weight class division action. Introducing first, in our Lucas Oil blue corner, this Team Oyama fighter stands 6 feet tall, 145 pounds. He comes in with a professional record of 12 wins and just 4 defeats. Hailing from Lima, Peru, Humberto Benett Ramirez. His opponent across the cage fighting out of the General Tire red corner. This AKA team fighter enters the cage with a pro record of 5 wins and just 1 defeat. He stands 5 foot 9 inches tall and 145 pounds. From Dushanbe, Tajikistan, the fighting pride of Russia, Salim Mukhidinov. Your referee, Mike Beltran.
All right, Joe, I've been over the rules already. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch us now if you want. At the sound of the bell, come on out and handle your business. Let's go. All right, gentlemen, first round. You ready to fight?
Mike Beltran, our ref for this matchup, and here we go. Ramirez in the blue gloves, Mukhidinov in the red gloves, and a nice outside leg kick to start things off here.
Fingers, Sonny. Fingers.
And a nice outside leg kick for Ramirez. Mukhidinov just taking center cage here, takes another kick, and lands it, of course, and now trying to shoot in. Mukhidinov just stuffs it and takes another outside leg kick. Can't take too many of those. I mean, over time, it's going to start paying its... Attacking the one thing that will destroy you over time, the one thing that keeps you up is your legs. And getting a little fancy, and a nice trip to start things off here. So right now, both fighters scrambling for position here. And Mukhidinov off to some great positions here, of course, as he tries to huddle up here and possibly land some nice shots. It's one of the worst places you can be, man. Worked up against the cage right there. Uncomfortable is an understatement here.
Grab the fence.
Mukhidinov continues to work from the full guard here. Ramirez just holding on, making sure to avoid any type of shots thrown by Mukhidinov. And a little bit of action being called by Mike Beltran. Quinton continues to stay busy here. Once again, we're here at Saboba Casino in San Jacinto, California, outdoors, out of all places. One of the most difficult places to fight for certain fighters. But right now, they're getting a little bit of the advantage here with the evening hours. So being outside sort of changes the game a bit, especially in the heat. I've been told by fighters sometimes the cage can get heated up. So, you know, when you get backed up against the cage, you're going to end up with some barbecue grill marks. So right now, things have cooled down a bit. You can hear a little bit of the wind. It's kind of like an MMA golf match here. Not with these fighters, but the sound of it all. So right now, Makidanov just staying in position in the half guard. Needs to stay busy, though, because Beltran will stand him up. And it's kind of like all that work just kind of goes out the window. So Makidanov seriously needs to stay busy. And now getting caught up in a triangle by Ramirez. Ramirez setting it up really nice. Got to get that foot. That right foot, oh, and he got it. Pulls it off with the armbar. Let's take a quick look how this transition. Makidanov getting a little fancy there, says, what's up? Ramirez says, okay, I got something for you. How about some more leg kicks? But Makidanov says, nah, I think I'll take it to the ground, which would end up becoming his demise here, because you can see he sets up that triangle, but all of a sudden, things start to transition into an armbar from here. And that was just a wonderful job by Ramirez, executed flawlessly by him. We throw it to Travis Morgan.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fight is stopped at 2 minutes and 40 seconds of round number 1 due to armbar for your winner, Humberto Benett Ramirez. Welcome to the cage, Andre Ewell.
Andre Ewell making his way to the cage. Has a little bit of height advantage over Rick James here tonight. And once again, we're here at Saboba Casino in San Jacinto, California for another night of mixed martial arts action. This is basically the foundation, the birthplace of King of the Cage. You know, King of the Cage had a previous event before we came to Saboba. And that was the first King of the Cage ever, which was held in tennis courts. Not actually inside, you know, a tennis court, and that was it, but there was a ring set up. Joe Stevenson made his debut on that card at the age of 17 years old, which would start him off to his legendary status in the world of MMA, now coaching MMA as well. So, man, he is just some of the fighters that came out of that event really set the pace and really set the road for all these new fighters coming into the mix. And so a lot of history is done here after that event that was held in the tennis courts, happened here at Saboba Casino, the second event, which would be kind of considered our first event at that point. But man, we have grown so far. Mixed martial arts has come a long way. And tonight, Ewell is looking to make a huge statement against the likes of Rick James. Rick James coming off a successful win and looking to continue that streak here tonight at Saboba Casino.
Welcome, Rick James.
And there he is, Rick James. And I'll tell you what, man, Rick James is one of those fighters that will come out and hit you at every angle, every nook and cranny, until you start covering up. And Rick James, man, he's got no mercy for his opponents, rightfully so. But when you see him get in there, he's got quick hands. He's got a great ground game, obviously training with the guys at Sequence Jiu-Jitsu in Norco, California, headed out by John Munoz. Also the father of Johnny Munoz Jr., a World Amateur Championship winner here. Been producing champions for years. And, he's been involved with King of the Cage for years. I would have to say that John Munoz was probably here at the first event when it came to us fighting in tennis courts. That was held in Corona, California, now known as Eastvale. But, man, producing this fighter, Rick James, seeing him coming up and seeing him come up through the ranks, he had a tough shot against Benito Lopez, and it happens to the best of them, getting knocked out within, seconds of that round. I believe his nerves got the best of him that fight, and we've seen a different fighter ever since that. that tremendous loss that he suffered. But man, Rick James is moving forward. He's got a great camp to back him up, and those mistakes happen. They happen along the way, and I'm sure Rick James knows that that's a mistake he'll never make again. And tonight he's here to prove it against Yule. So we'll see how this all pans out. Mike Beltram with the final adjustments here as we get set for Yule and James here at King of the Cage. We throw it to Travis Morgan to get this matchup underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 3 rounds in the 135-pound division. Introducing first, in the Lucas Oil blue corner. This Apex MMA fighter has a pro record of 6 wins, just 3 defeats. At 5'11", 136 pounds, from Riverside, California, Andre Afro Monkey Elo. His opponent across the cage in the General Tire red corner. This sequence team fighter comes in with a record of 5 wins, 3 defeats. 5'7", 135 pounds of terror from Fontana, California, Rick the Reaper James.
And here we go, round 1. James, Yule, ready to take place and put on a battle here tonight at Saboba Casino in San Jacinto, California. Cecil Peoples, the 3rd man in the cage. Yule immediately comes in. No feel-out process whatsoever, just getting straight to business. Nice kick placed by Rick James there. Rick James backing up a bit here. Inside leg kick for Yule. James takes the outside part of the cage here. Yule continues on the inside. Nice kick to back things up, but takes a couple shots, but that doesn't faze James at all. Rick James with the original nickname of I'm Rick James, quoted by Dave Chappelle at one time. I think he changed his name recently, realized that, you know, that may not work on television. So kudos to him, even though it was a fitting name for him, because his name's Rick James, and we all know the words that follow up after that. But tonight, Rick James is just constantly looking for that victory here and backs up a bit, but Yule is becoming a huge challenge for him tonight. The height advantage is going to Yule a bit. But James is obviously a well-rounded fighter, and this could be a huge win for Yule tonight as well. And this is a very important fight for Rick James tonight. Losing this fight could probably set him back from a title shot in the near future. So tonight, Rick James knows this fight is important, just as his last was too. Coming off that loss and then getting a victory, a flawless victory after that. And tonight taking on Yule. Yule is not taking this fight lightly as well. Yule comes in with a body shot. Tries to mix it up with a shot to the head, but James comes right back at him. Both fighters displaying their well-rounded skills, obviously. But a nice kick and a slip. Rick James tries to take advantage, barely misses with that high kick. Yule backs up. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remains in this round. Scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds or less.
try to pull you off. He's going to try to pull you off, Jay. Be ready. Be ready.
Continues to get worked up against the cage. Yule stuffing this takedown attempt by Rick James. Rick James very persistent with it. And I'd have to say 8 out of 10 takedown attempts when it comes to Rick James on average, he'll get it. But Yule is possessing a problem here with the height. But James thinks he's going to get it. I feel he feels like he's going to get it. And like I said, almost. But Yule utilizing that great balance of his. Still defending this takedown. Getting a little bit of exhaustion, and Cecil People is going to break that up. Not enough action according to Cecil Peoples. Oh, nice high kick. Swoops underneath. Another high kick. Oh, and takes a shot to the dome. A quick mistake, but Rick James looks like he's recovering pretty quickly. Yule smells the blood, but Rick James is recovering pretty quickly here. Taking a couple more shots, backing it up. Yule's got to be a little bit tired trying to defend that takedown. I mean, you got somebody weighing about the same weight as you, just hanging on to you. That's definitely going to wear and tear on you. So Yule getting a chance of spinning back fist. Both fighters getting crafty here tonight. Now, a lot of people will look at that and say spinning back fist, spinning back kick, whatever. It's not about being effective. I think it's almost to throw your opponent off. If you're not expecting something like that in a regular fight, it'd probably go to Yule. Yule landed a very effective shot towards the end of the fight. It was pretty even up until then. James obviously was defending a takedown attempt, probably about a good minute, possibly a minute and a half. Or, excuse me, Yule was trying to defend that takedown. But that was right when they broke free. Yule landed a really nice shot as he caught Rick James off balance. But he got caught off balance, as we say. Right there, got back up. Right here, it just went back and forth. There's that shot we're talking about. Quick mistake, but it happens. And Yule was right there to capitalize on that. So we head off into round 2. All right, Yule in the blue gloves, James in the red gloves. Got to be careful. Those kicks are starting to add up over time here. We know that those will pay big dividends in the end. Right now, both fighters know they got to get to work. Round 2. Both fighters trying to, throw some shots that'll end the fight quickly. We saw that they were getting very crafty in earlier round 2 or round 1. High kick barely misses. Yule gets out of the way there. More shots thrown by Yule. And I like those combinations that Yule continues to put together. It's starting to throw Rick James off a bit. I've seen Yule demonstrate some real great tactics when it comes to the offense department. counter shots are very effective for him. We saw that earlier when we saw Rick James throw a roundhouse kick and then took a shot on the chin, fell down, got right back up. Ewell with another body shot attempt. Rick James starting to catch on. Two minutes, 6 seconds remains. High kick delivered by Rick James. Heel backs up a bit. Both fighters are just content with standing up. Rick James tried to take it down in round one. Couldn't really get it. And Cecil Peoples ended up breaking that attempt up in round one. I believe Rick James is like, you know what? I just will stand up. I tried to take it to the ground. It was difficult. Not going to waste that energy. So Rick James and heel just constantly backing up here. .30 seconds remains. And that will complete chapter 2. Right here, a quick look at the replay. James comes in with a couple shots, gets fancy, but it was those type of shots that Heel was able to capitalize on. We talked that he was a counteracting fighter, really good at it. And see, James takes a shot right there. Rick James and Ewell. Seeing a third chapter here. Cecil Peoples, our rep for this matchup. So far, it's a pretty even fight. I'd say one advantage you can give to Ewell is that drop when he dropped Rick James. Rick James had done a sort of a spinning roundhouse kick and then took one on the chin and fell. Obviously still in the fight, but that was probably one of the most dramatic kicks. And right now, there we go. Trying to even the scorecard here. Rick James continues to stalk him. Keeps moving forward. Ewell with those body shots. And, you know, it only takes one body shot. One solid, clean body shot to end the entire fight. So, you know, that's a really, a very scary thing that you always want to watch for. It doesn't ever happen, but when it does, it's almost as spectacular as a knockout. And Ewell's just not giving it up, so I know Rick James is probably like, man, these body shots getting pretty close. Now Rick James starts to mix it up with an inside leg kick and a big right. this fight has the opportunity of going the distance here. And I think it possibly will. I mean, the way it's been going so far, a couple dramatic shots, a couple of knockdowns that we saw, but nothing too dramatic to end the fight. But make no mistake, both fighters are throwing shots to end this fight ever since the beginning. Yeah, this is the time, you know, you can hear that Ewell's corner calling him to keep his hands up, but I believe that he's just trying to lure Rick James in and really keeping those hands low. But sometimes that's used as a tactic, and sometimes that tactic can be used against you too. So got to be careful, especially with someone like Rick James, who will come in pretty quick. High kick, and now a shot to the dome of Ewell. Ewell comes back in with a couple of his own, like a receipt. Here you go. Cecil Peoples out of the way, and now here we go. Ewell trying to finish this. But Rick James says, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. Both fighters working overtime here. Ewell needs to be careful, doesn't want to punch himself out here. More shots delivered by Ewell. Ewell mixing it up. Now would probably be that time to throw in that body shot with a couple combinations to the dome of Rick James. More elbows being asked for by Ewell, and a big high kick getting a little fancy there. Has to be careful, but I don't think Ewell is as fast as he was in the first couple of rounds. As both fighters, rightfully so. But Rick James looks like he's got that cardio put together. He's got it in a line there. Ewell with a nice block. That high kick delivered by Rick James. Rick James comes in again. As soon as he throws those kicks, you can see that Ewell rushes him right away, and now getting worked up against the cage. Now looking for the takedown, and he gets it. But things work. Finally, they work out for Rick James. Rick James was trying to take him down for probably a good minute and a half in round one. And man, what a war between these two. Let's take a look at the replay here. Both fighters really putting it all out there. Shots back and forth, exchanged. Those body shots that Ewell tried to land several times didn't work out for him. And right here, Rick James finally gets that takedown that he was seeking earlier in round 1 and 2. And finally gets it without a thought. So quick. Tries to swoop under right there. Ewell backs him up a bit. Rick James comes right back in again. But such excellent technique in setting up that takedown. Really wasn't. Yeah, right here you can see he's trying to cinch in there. It's hard to remember when this happened. So much action happened. There we go. Swoops underneath. Grabs Ewell. Ewell says, I don't know if I got enough energy to block this out, and gets that nice takedown.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for a great 3-round bout tonight between these two warriors. After 3 rounds, we go to the scorecards. Judges Mark Davidson, Luis Cobain, and John Neuenberg all see the fight the same way. 30-27 for your winner, Andre Afro Monkey Ewell. 3 rounds of MMA action in the 170-pound weight division. The referee in charge once the bell rings is the legendary Mike Beltran. Introducing first in our Lucas Oil blue corner. This Apex MMA fighter comes in with a record of 3 wins, 5'10", 170 pounds, from Riverside, California, Andrew Lazo. His opponent across the cage in our General Tire red corner. With a training zone team fighter has a record of 1 win, 1 defeat. At 5'8", 170 pounds, from Costa Mesa, California, George Pelayo.
And here we go, round 1, Lazo and Pelayo. Pelayo in the red gloves, Lazo in the blue gloves. Mike Beltran, the 3rd man in the cage, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds or less. And Pelayo, it's getting a little slippery out here. Everybody has to realize it is raining and we are outside, which would be the cause and demise of these fights. Now, rarely does it ever happen like this, and I'm surprised it doesn't happen more being an outside venue. But here we are, almost near summer, and it's raining out here in sunny California, so it's a very rare situation here. It starts to change things around. Both fighters, you know, talk about being on balance, having to be more on balance to this day. This is a very difficult situation for the fighters to be in, but, you know, the fact that they have stepped in the cage, knowing the circumstances and knowing the environment at this point in time, just makes me extend my heart and more respect out to these guys for getting in there, having to deal with the variables out there. Lazo almost with that slip. Pelayo. And thinking of the fact that this could possibly be a little bit more exhausting than having to fight normally under the circumstances of the adrenaline, but now having to deal with the slip and slide situation sort of makes things a little more stressful. I think they're going to stop it. They're going to dry it up, yeah. It needs to be wiped up. That's a great call by Beltran. You could see the causes of the rain, and let's take a look at the replay. Just slipping around. Look at this. Pelayo tries to come back, but you know, it's weird. You try and rush in,
ladies and gentlemen,
and things change a bit.
For our crew tonight, keeping the cage nice and dry for our fighters.
And look at that crew, working it, working it.
Give a special shout out to whoever brought these heaters ringside. Way to go.
Travis Morgan calling out the people sitting by the heaters. I can't believe he said that because I saw him standing by the heater. How dare he say that? So the crew's working a little bit overtime here tonight as we hear about this. Let's want to thank our sponsors like Lucas Oil, made in America, sold to the world, and of course General Tire, anywhere is possible. So thank you to them for sponsoring our event here tonight at Saboba Casino in San Jacinto, California, and we are just about to get ready back into this battle here. A lot more drier. I'm sure the fighters are appreciating this right now. Lazo with a little bit of slip there. Pelayo coming in a little stronger with some shots. Pelayo is a very explosive fighter. We've seen several of his fights in the past. Lazo, I have not seen too much footage on him, but I know that, you know, he's game to stand up as well, but he takes that fall, and Pelayo slips a bit. Now trying to set up the guillotine is Pelayo. I don't know if there could be an advantage or disadvantage here when it comes to the rain, but Pelayo's just all skill right now. The rain is definitely not helping his circumstance, but he's still trying to soften Lazo up, trying to get into the position here. And they're back on their feet. Pelayo backs up, looking to probably land some more shots here. Both fighters staying busy here. Pelayo continues to circle in the inner cage and now trying to, Lazo slips a bit. Yeah, they're gonna have him wipe up again, man. This is probably one of the worst parts of the night here that we've seen with the rain. It's been on and off all day, but right now it's starting to act up. Let's take a look at the replay, some of the damage this rain has been doing. Pelayo gets that nice slip takedown, but he ends up slipping himself. They both end up back on their feet. And Mike Beltran has just seen these guys slipping, and he's like, that is enough, man. So now we got the crew back in there drying things out. And let me tell you something, I have never seen any other MMA organization where the owner / president, co-founder would get in the cage himself and start wiping the decks down. To me, that is one of the most humbling traits of the owner, man. And that speaks volumes to me, man. It's all about the safety of the fighters. And he just shows a tremendous amount of care. He's got enough guys out there wiping it up, yet the owner's in there wiping up the cage. That is just, wow. Big kudos to him. Right now, big kudos to these fighters enduring the situation here tonight with all the rain, the wind. Things are starting to kick up here. And Pelayo's still going forward with these shots, regardless of the circumstances. Pelayo needs to be careful, though. He gets taken down by Lazo. Lazo's got a great ground game. This I do know. And right now, setting up that rear naked choke. He's got that body triangle in, and he's just moments away from possibly finishing this. 1 minute, 22 seconds on the clock, plenty of time to start setting things up. Right now, I'm looking to see Lazo start to soften his opponent up on his stomach, possibly some shots to the back of the head. But Pelayo is like, man, I'm holding on for dear life. You're not getting this in. But Lazo is just working his way methodically. I have to call it the boa constrictor theory. You know, as the opponent moves, the boa constrictor continues to slide in and continues to make his move. So Pelayo, you know, every move trying to get out of this counts because it will be used against him. And right now, I can't see from this position, but it looks like Lazo's got a good lock on this. Pelayo's just protecting himself with that right arm. If Lazo gets past that right arm, whether it be a shot or try to soften him up, Pelayo's going to be in a world of trouble. 34 seconds on the clock. Can Pelayo hang in there? Lazo feeling the effects here. Oh, there we go. Pelayo in a little bit of trouble here. Really hard to see from this position. It's really kind of difficult to finish from the side here, but it's not something that hasn't been done before. And I think that Pelayo's going to survive this. 10 seconds remains. Frustrating moment for Lazo trying to sink in that choke, which isn't going to happen. And that concludes that round. Another night of mixed martial arts action. This is King of the Cage, brought to you by General Tire and Lucas Oil. As we head off into the second round, Pelayo was in a little bit of trouble for the final 35 seconds of the last round. In danger of that rear naked choke that Lazo tried to set up. And things got a little bit difficult. The fight was halted for a bit and paused because of the rain and the circumstances we face here tonight. But both fighters are pressing forward. Big shout out to the crew for getting in there and getting all that rain off of the mat there. Pelayo slips underneath. Shoots in, and now going to get that takedown. Now, Lazo finds himself in a good situation here. Pelayo's not in a huge threat here, but it is not a good situation to be in. As he pops his head right out. He thought, now trying to trap that left arm is Lazo from the bottom. Pelayo going to try and posture up here and start to soften Lazo up a bit. And you can see Lazo's controlling the hand, trying to leave him with nothing to work with, which is good for Lazo, not good for Pelayo, but Pelayo's just trying to get out. It's almost like we got sort of an arm wrestling match here with the left hand. But Lazo doing a great job with the butterfly guard here, keeping Pelayo at bay. This is really frustrating for Pelayo at this point. He's trying to posture up. He's trying to probably create some space, maybe deliver an elbow with that left, but gonna go ahead and utilize the right hand. Lazo in a little bit of trouble, and Pelayo continues to open him up. Oh, and another shot delivered by Pelayo and ends up in side control. What a great pass. Not only does he pass the guard, but lands some very significant shots. They're gonna pay off big dividends in the end here. Now trying to grab an arm of Lazo. Lazo bails out of that situation. Now taking the back of Pelayo. Pelayo in a little bit of trouble. Lazo's starting to back up here and now takes the back. And this is in danger of being stopped because those are some heavy shots. Oh, that's it. That was enough. Great job done by Lazo. I thought the ground game would be his strong point. Didn't think he was going to finish this fight on a ground and pound. But right here, Pelayo's probably thinking in his mind, man, I should have just kept it on the feet. Taking it to the ground. You couldn't really judge the ground game of Lazo.
In round 2, referee Mike Beltran stops the fight due to strikes at 2 minutes and 36 seconds. For your winner, Andrew Lazo! Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for 3 rounds of MMA action at the 145-pound division. Introducing first, in our Lucas Oil blue corner, this team Raw Town MMA fighter has a pro record of 2 wins, 2 defeats. 6 feet tall, 145 pounds, from the cowboy state of Wyoming, from Rawlins, Wyoming, Andrew High Hips Kaufman! His opponent across the cage in the General Tire red corner. This adrenaline martial arts team member comes in with a record of 1 win, no defeats. He stands 6'2", 145 pounds. From Miami, Florida, Roosevelt the Predator Roberts. The referee in charge of the bouts, Mike Beltran.
All right, y'all been over the rules already. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch goes now if you want. At the sound of the bell, come on out and handle your business. Let's go.
Andrew Coppola, World Amateur Championship 2 winner.
You ready to fight? You ready to fight? Have it, let's go.
Takes on Roosevelt Robert. Robert comes in immediately throwing some heavy leather. Coppola in a little bit of trouble. I think he got rocked a bit there. Coppola not getting a chance to recover here. Oh, and it takes another shot by Roosevelt. Robert setting that up. Coppola in some serious trouble. Beltran's about to step in. I think that's it. That is it. Great job done by Roosevelt Robert here. Let's take a look at the replay, how this all unfolded. Wow. Watch out for Robert. Man, what a beast. Came in and nearly took out Coppola within seconds of the first round. Wow, that says a lot about Robert. Coppola is such a tough guy. It's incredible this even happened.
Referee Mike Beltran has seen enough. 23 seconds into the first round for your winner. By stoppage due to strikes, Roosevelt the Predator Roberts. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached our final fight of the evening tonight. This bout is scheduled for 3 rounds in the 145-pound division. Your referee in charge is birthday boy Cecil Peoples. Introducing first in the Lucas Oil blue corner. This MMA fighter has a pro record of 4 wins, 3 defeats. At 5'9", 145 pounds, from the Lone Star state of Texas, Houston, Texas, Demarcus Brown. His opponent across the cage in our General Tire red corner. This sub-fighter MMA team member has a record of 5 wins, 4 defeats. 6'2", 145 pounds, from Costa Mesa, California, Mike Segura! Ladies and gentlemen, Cecil Peoples.
Last fight of the night. I want a good, clean, fair fight. Protect yourself at all times. Follow the rules at all times. When it comes to love, do it now. Let's dance.
And we are just about set for this matchup to go down between Demarcus Brown and Mike Segura. Cecil Peoples are rep for this matchup. Demarcus Brown, who possesses great strength in those hands. He's very fast. He's very fast with his kicks as well. 1 second, his foot is on the ground, and then another second, it's visiting your head. And that's just the way it goes with Demarcus Brown. Segura, who has some heavy hands as well. I mean, really, this is a well-thought-out matchup between these two. Demarcus Brown continues to square back here a little bit as Segura takes center cage. Both fighters content with standing on the feet. Three minutes, 12 seconds remains. Demarcus Brown finally gets it to the ground. Segura, haven't really seen his ground game too much. Demarcus Brown as well, but he does have a ground game. Don't make no mistakes. Demarcus Brown just, pretty much finishes his fights on the feet. So right now he's looking to create some space. Segura's got a hold of that right arm of Demarcus Brown, keeping him from delivering some nice elbows there. Now in the half guard, trying to pass position. Breaks free, but Segura's trying to hold on to that leg. Demarcus punishes him with a little thigh kick there. Gonna let him stand up. Segura back on his feet. Nice body kick by Demarcus Brown. Takes a shot for his efforts, but backs up a bit. Segura with some nice straight shots here. Demarcus very fast in getting out of the way there. Outside leg kick by Segura and a nice takedown attempt by Brown. Demarcus Brown continues to take the top here, throwing some nice punishment kicks there. I think Cecil Peoples going to stand in there, going to let him stand up. Segura continues to fight from the back here. And Cecil Peoples tempted to stay in there, get in there, but he hasn't, letting him duke it out here, and that's a great job done by Cecil Peoples. Really destroying the thighs of Mike Segura, but Segura's back on his feet here. Oh, Demarcus almost takes a shot there, but gets out of harm's way. Segura trying to back him in that corner there for a second. And that is the end of round one. Look at the replay, some of the highlights of round one between Brown and Segura. Brown gets a nice takedown out of that, and I would say that that probably got him some points there. Controlled it on the ground, a portion of that round. Some nice body kicks delivered by him, and Segura just needs to get in there and connect some more shots. And obviously both fighters are well equipped in the stand-up department. It's just a matter of, you know, the timing process of timing Demarcus Brown, but he's just such a fast individual when it comes to the stand-up department with his kicks, etc. So tonight Segura's looking to capitalize, see if he can find that tipping point. As we head off into round two, Demarcus Brown in the blue gloves, Mike Segura in the red gloves. Cecil Peoples, our ref for this matchup. Segura with some more shots, trying to land him, but Demarcus is pretty quick with his offense there. Takes a kick to the body. Shakes it right off. Goes for that inside leg kick. Nice shot delivered by Segura. Again, Brown shakes it off. Continues to take the outside. Oh, nice shot by Demarcus Brown. Big right delivered to the dome of Segura. Doesn't really phase Segura, but man, he's starting to land those kicks, and they're starting to get snappy up in there. Demarcus Brown swips underneath and gets another nice takedown. Demarcus Brown back in this position again, and man, he will take advantage. While you're on the ground, he's not shy with throwing those kicks to the thighs. So now Demarcus Brown will continue to take center cage here. Oh, and a nice leg trip by Demarcus Brown. Watch those leg kicks. I think Demarcus Brown has scored so many points with Mike Segura being on the ground. I haven't seen so many leg kicks that have landed in this type of situation. And Demarcus Brown, I mean, he's really utilizing that as a tool here. I mean, it's obviously working. Look at the thighs of Segura, red, battered up a bit. It's almost kind of like the foot stomp. You don't see it too often, but it is very effective trying to get positions when it does land. It's probably one of the most annoying things for any fighter, getting a foot stomp or getting kicked while you're on the ground into the thighs. Segura took a major, major beating on those legs, but it hasn't stopped him quite yet, and he's still rushing towards Demarcus Brown. Both fighters continue to exchange here on the feet. Demarcus Brown has had some very good points, if this does go the distance, getting those 2 takedowns earlier in round 1 and in the middle of round 2 here. Nice kick. Counter defense by Demarcus Brown once again. Mike Segura with the flying knee attempt. Demarcus Brown gets out of harm's way. Takes a shot to the body and now gets another takedown, but gets caught up in a small guillotine here. Oh man, Segura got it fast. Wow. Demarcus Brown was leading this fight with those takedowns. If this went the distance, he possibly could have won the fight, but Segura locked in that guillotine choke like nothing. It was so fast. Right here, taking a couple shots, and it's not like Segura was being outclassed in any way. It's just that Demarcus Brown had those nice takedowns, and we all know that takedowns score huge points in the minds of the judges if it went the distance, but this fight was never going to go the distance. Segura was going to get him up in there in that guillotine and then finish it right here. This is right up until the end of that fight. That nice leg trip scored him some nice points too.
The 3:38 mark of the second round. Tap out due to guillotine choke for your winner, Mike Segura!
You know, everybody sees a small guy. They think he can big, you know. It's about, I don't know, about 6 foot. He walks around at 230, you know, coming down. Don't matter. You know, everybody picks a small guy. That's cool. You know, we're going to come in and we're going to show them what we do.
I think it's awesome. I'm really grateful that King of the Cage is going to let me allow me to fight. I just, you know what I mean, I want to get in there and mix it up, and I was going to do it with anybody, but to do it with King of the Cage is just a bonus for me.
Like, man, I really don't look at guys' footage, you know what I mean? You know, if you see me fight, you know, I come out there and fight. We always done that all my career. We go out there, small guy, big guy, doesn't matter. We come out there and bang, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna, you know, we're gonna try to chop his legs down, and if he opens up, man, he's gonna hit the floor hard.
As far as I can tell, Gabe Rivas is short, and I've never really punched anybody in the face that's shorter than me, so that'll be weird. But he looks like a boxer. He looks like a brawler. Doesn't look like he wants to go to the ground very much. I want to put on a show, man, and I feel like if you're not like the next new greatest thing on the planet, then you should just suck each other in the face. So that's what I'm going to do.
Soboba to me is very important. That was my first fight that I fought for King of the Cage was a pay-per-view fight at Soboba against, of course, you know, Crazy Horse. Fought Razor Rob McCall in the rain. That was nice. You know, that's my place, man. That's where I belong. You know, King of the Cage is my house. And forget a guy coming on my door, knocking on my door and calling me out, you better bring some stuff because he's coming to my house, knocking on my door, calling me out. So you better be ready.
Hey, Gabe. How's it going, buddy? I'm going to see you on Saturday, and we're going to have a great time. We're going to put on a great show. This is the bit you're looking for right here or here. You take your best shot, champ, because that's what I'm aiming for, too. May the best man win.
Ladies and gentlemen, are we ready for more MMA in Soboba tonight? Welcome to the cage, Gabe Rivas. welcome to the cage, Jason Ellis. Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for 3 rounds of MMA action. The 190-pound catchweight. Your referee in charge of the fight when the action begins, Mike Beltran. Introducing first in our Lucas Oil Blue corner, this Cobra Fight Club fighter comes in with a record of 35 wins, 35 defeats, and 2 draws. He stands 5 foot 5 inches tall and 190 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, from Eloy, Arizona, welcome Gabe the Hitman Rivas. His opponent across the cage in our General Tire red corner. This Texan Muay Thai fighter comes in with a record of 1 win, no defeat in his pro career. Tonight, this former skateboard pro makes his King of the Cage professional debut here in Saboba. He stands 6 feet tall, 190 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, from Los Angeles, California, Jason Sharkheart Ellis. The referee in charge, Mike Beltran.
All right, jump in over the rules already. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch goes now if you want. The sound of the bell, come on out. Handle your business. Let's go.
Well, there is definitely a height advantage here, and it doesn't go to Gabe Rivas. That will be going to Jason Ellis.
You ready to fight? You ready to fight? Hell, let's go.
Jason Ellis, also known as a radio host, a pro skater, a very well-known pro skater at that, and now in the cage. What can this guy not do? We'll see here tonight. Very tough opponent. Gabe Rivas has got some great stand-up. Do not let the size fool you, because this guy has some heavy hands. And this is probably what Ellis wanted. He wanted somebody to get in there that would stand with him, because Ellis has got heavy hands himself too. And we're so honored to have him here tonight. But to take on the likes of Gabe Rivas, that is a very tough fight for anybody. And like I said, don't let that height advantage fool you, because once Gabe Rivas gets on the inside, he starts landing some nice shots to the chins, as we witnessed that back in the day when he took on Victor Valenzuela, the champion of the lightweight division at that time, which I believe was 2008 or 2009. Jason Ellis out of Saxon's MMA. Those guys are some tough individuals. I believe Danielle Taylor is now training out of there as well. So, you know, he's definitely got the backing behind him here tonight, as well as his fans. And this is probably the most serious face I've ever seen on Jason Ellis, because he is a funny guy. His radio show is comical. He's got a huge, vast amount of listeners. But tonight, seeing him in this light is absolutely incredible, and it's scary at the same time. Ellis backs up a bit, starting to land some shots of his own, but that doesn't faze him. This is what I was talking about. Once Gabe Rivas gets on the inside, he gets a little bit dangerous. Tries to take the height away from his opponents, and rightfully so. Someone like Jason Ellis, who possesses that height advantage and the reach advantage he has. It's one of Gabe Rivas' tactics he's used for many years. And it's almost one of the only things he can do is get on the inside of this height and reach advantage. But let it be known, Ellis has got a great ground game too. But I believe this is one of those fights, he said it himself. If you're not the most well-known fighter, and that's funny because Ellis is a very well-known guy as well as Gabe Rivas, but, you might as well go out there and give the fans a show. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's sticking to his word.
Keep moving from me. Keep that jab going, Jason. Rope and go. Jab, Jason. There you go.
And of course, Gabe Rivas with the Muay Thai background that he had. And it's kind of funny with Gabe because he says, last time I fought at Saboba, there was rain. And then tonight, they had some rain, but it's not dropping down as much here tonight as it was earlier with fighters slipping and sliding. Oh, nice shot. Thrown by Rivas. Ellis's corner calling for him to get off the cage, and it looks like Gabe Rivas just dropped a shot on the jaw of Jason Ellis. Ellis is a little bit rocked here, but coming back to his senses here, but now taken to the ground. This will give him some time to recover here. Now on the ground, Gabe Rivas looking to deliver some elbows, trying to create some more space. But this is a great opportunity for Ellis to recover a bit here from those shots. Didn't completely rock him, but still stunned him a bit. And rolling over, and Gabe Rivas holding on to that arm, but Ellis breaks right out. And that is a great job done by Ellis, getting out of harm's way just like that. And now back on their feet. Now back on their feet. .58 seconds remains here. And back to the ground they go. Gabe Rivas passes that half guard now, almost in side control, but Ellis looks like he's gonna get right back out of this. And right back to his feet here almost. And there you go. Make sure he gets out of harm's way. Making sure it doesn't take a knee from Rivas there in the transition process of getting up.
Come on, Jason. Please no. Yeah, Jason, hold and use that. Hold and turn with that. Breathe. You got 20 seconds. Breathe. Breathe, Jason, breathe.
More shots delivered by Rivas. Trying to deliver a knee and more shots to the jaw. Ellis is a little bit rocked again, but comes right back out of it. Ellis showing some cardio here tonight, taking shots and recovering so quick. Let's take a look at the replay, some of the highlights of this round. Right here, Gabe Rivas gets a couple of shots when he gets on the inside there. And this is exactly why Ellis wanted to fight Rivas. He knew that Rivas was going to bring war to him. He wanted to be challenged, and that's one thing that I respect so highly about Ellis.
You ready to fight? You ready to fight? Panel, let's go.
Much respect between these two fighters going into it. Ellis, a very respectful person too, as he said in his interview. The whole goal is to touch me right here on the chin, and I'm going to do the same. And that's exactly what they're doing here. Sticking to his word here.
Keep that jab going, Jason.
Near the corner of Jason Ellis, keep that jab going. Keeping Rivas at a distance here. Rivas, who has had several matches in his mixed martial arts career, he has way more experience in the cage than Ellis. So Ellis is really taking on a challenging fight here, and you got to respect that. You got mouthpiece out, but until the action stops, he won't get it back. Now shooting in for that nice takedown, and gets it. Great job done by Ellis. I have to say it's very interesting. You see all walks of life come into MMA. Some have transitioned into other sports like boxing, Muay Thai. But Ellis coming in from being a pro skater, if you think about it, how much cardio it actually takes to be a skater. You can't just sit there and skate all day, do jumps, get injured. Some of the worst injuries happen when you're skateboarding. So, you know, that factor and that equation's taken out, where Ellis like, I'm not afraid to take a cut or a punch. So the fear factor is pretty much out the window. And to see that transition into a sport like this is absolutely incredible. And I'd have to say it's the first of the kind that I've ever seen commentating in this sport for the last 13 years. So Ellis really displaying some skill here on the ground right now. Gabe Rivas tries to transition out of it. Ellis not allowing it, of course. Ellis trying to create some space, possibly deliver an elbow, but he's trapping that right arm of Gabe Rivas. Possibly working a transition into an old school Kimura here. Gabe Rivas lifts his right arm, keeps that from happening. 2 minutes, 31 seconds remains. Mike Beltran on top of the action. Jason Ellis staying busy, working that Kimura again. Old school key lock, here we go. Gabe Rivas is gonna bust out of it. I mean, he is cranking that like a slot machine, and look at the strength of Rivas getting out of it. Great attempt by Ellis. Trying to soften Rivas up a little bit with that knee to the body. A little bit of scramble going on between these two. Ellis postures up, throws a shot. As great as you know, Rivas' jiu-jitsu is, I've really never seen it go to the ground with him. I think most of his opponents anticipate him standing up with him because, you know, he's got that Muay Thai background and that's what he used to do as he transitioned into the sport. But we never really see the ground game of Gabe, and tonight we're kind of seeing that in the offense portion of it. But Ellis doing a really good job controlling the situation, regardless if these attempts are working or not. He's keeping the aggression up and he's controlling it at this point. Rivas has just got to get out of this position. Easier said than done. And you can hear the corner of Ellis use that leg to keep him flat, and that's exactly what he's trying to do here as he tries to cross that left leg over. Gabe Rivas is holding on with that toe, and he crosses right over into the side control, and we'll see what he can do from this position. 23 seconds remains. Got to get to work. Rivas doing a good job, though, of deflecting any damage thus far. And we are about to conclude with round number 2 here. Some highlights of round 2. The mouthpiece got knocked out of Ellis. Ellis ended up taking this to the ground. Rivas backs up, and he takes advantage and gets a really nice takedown here. That'll score him some points in the minds of the judges. A couple of times with the old school key lock attempt. And Rivas just deflecting damage. He was really keeping Rivas busy there on the ground. Rivas was just making sure his arm wasn't going to get caught up. And did a great job as we head off into round 3. This gives Gabe Rivas an opportunity to get back on his feet and deliver some heavy hands. Much respect between these two. Gotta love that. Now, when you look at this fight on paper, you see the height advantage, you see the reach advantage, and you just say to yourself, this is probably not going to end nicely or could possibly end quickly. But like I said, you know, on paper, that's nice. But when you look at the experience that Gabe Rivas brings to the cage, you kind of tell yourself, like, oh, okay, that makes sense why this fight is being put together. I mean, look at it. Here we are in the round 3, and Rivas is continually bringing it to Ellis. Ellis continuing to size Rivas up there a bit. And a nice shot by Rivas. Ellis shakes it off, no problem. And we've seen what's been working for Gabe Rivas all night. You know, when Jason Ellis throws a shot, the counter-punching of Rivas is kind of an advantage for him. It's the one time that he can actually get in there. But Rivas, you know, being held back at bay there, held back a distance from Jason Ellis. Nice shot there by Ellis. You see the respect that Ellis has for him. Takes a shot. I think that's more of a slip. Maybe a quick shot there, but he's back on his feet, no problem. But the respect Ellis has for him, you know, he knows that Rivas is, with the height advantage is different, but he still respects it. And he understands that Gabe Rivas has got a lot of experience. And that's why I respect Ellis so much, taking on a fight. You know, a guy with so much experience, you want to fight a guy that has that many fights under his belt. It's very respectable. So Ellis knows that this is a very important fight for him, especially he has all his fans out here. You hear all those people, those are Ellis's fans. You know, fans of his radio show, fans of him being a pro skater, the list goes on. And now in MMA, we're so honored to have him here. And Gabe Rivas is just trying to be that brick, put a stop to this tonight. But like I said, it's such an important fight for Ellis. Already flying by, time's flying by so quick. A little over 2 minutes left here in round 3. Getting a nice takedown there. I mean, it's a pretty close fight until it went into round 2. You had Ellis with all those attempts, submission attempts, was controlling it on the ground. So right now, with Rivas going on the ground, this might not be a good thing for Rivas. Needs to get out of this position, start throwing those heavy hands, because we know that Ellis controlled it on the ground in the last round. One minute, 18 seconds. You can hear the corner of Ellis. Stay busy. Don't let him stand you up. You're in a great position. You know, when two fighters are standing up together, whether one is more skilled than the other when it comes to stand-up department, you just never know. And it's a risky thing. Because a fight can end at any moment with hands being thrown as fast as these guys have been throwing them. Working his way into the full mount, possibly here. Rivas trying to trap that right leg, and it looks like Ellis is about to pop out of there. Posturing up and throwing some more shots. "19 seconds. Ellis ending up on top here. Now cranking on that left arm of Gabe Rivas. Here we go, going for that Kimura. Can he hang on? That is so deep. Wow! Beltran puts a stop, a halt to the action just like that. All right, here's some of those shots that were being exchanged between the two. Ellis saw an opening right here. He swooped underneath, goes in for the double leg and gets it. From this point on, he would control the remaining parts of the fight, just trying to gain position. Stayed busy enough to where Mike Beltran didn't stand him up. And right here, this is where he gets that other takedown. Right here is where he started to crank on that left arm of Rivas. And I'm not sure if Rivas tapped out or not, but I think it's a great call by Beltran. If he wasn't tapping, you could have had a broken arm. And I have to say that's a very good judgment by Mike Beltran tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a fight tonight! The incredible fight ends at 4:59 of the third round. Verbal submission due to key lock, your winner, Jason Sharkheart Ellis.
And there you have it. Victorious here tonight at his King of the Cage debut, Jason Ellis. And Travis Morgan will have a couple words with our winner.
Jason, let's have a quick word. First off, congratulations on the victory. Man, you have a cozy job in a radio studio somewhere. Why would you come out here and get punched in the face?
Yeah, well, if you had said that like a month ago, maybe I wouldn't have been here.
Newsflash, right?
I mean, I've always wanted to be a fighter, and I missed my window because I chose skateboarding. And, I just feel like a 12-year-old. Every time I go to the gym, I want to be Keith Jardine, and I want to be all these dudes that are legends, and for King of the Cage to give me a shot to be here in front of everybody like a real fighter against another real fighter, these are the things that I cherish in my life. Opportunities where you can lose it all, win it all the pressure in the world, it's all up to you. I hate it and I love it at the same time.
Well, now you got one under your belt, so let me ask you a question here. Are we going to keep going, or are you just going to go back to the radio studio?
Oh no, I'm gonna keep going until the wheels come off, and the wheels are still on. So, game on.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Seneca Allegheny Resort and Casino, Salamanca, New York, King of the Cage and General Tire present this 3-round bout in the lightweight division. Your referee in charge of the action, Steve Ward. Introducing first, in the Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, official weight 154 pounds. He represents Battle Rounds MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, from Portage, Indiana, presenting Nick, the Mexican Hitman Longoria. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 5 feet 8 inches tall, official weight 154.8 pounds. He represents WNY MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, from Newfane, New York, presenting Jeremy Stopa.
And here we go, round one. Nick Longoria in the blue gloves. Jeremy Stopa in the red gloves. Stopa comes in, takes center cage right away. Comes in, gets that takedown immediately, and now goes to work. A little bit of ground and pound action. Trying to get rid of that right arm out of there. It's trapped a bit. Trying to posture up now, almost in the side control. Now in a little bit of danger here from Stopa. Oh man, heavy shots landed by Stopa. More shots being landed. And that is coming close to an end here. I don't know how much more he can take. Ref steps in and that is it. Let's take a quick look at the replay here. Stopa comes in, gets that nice leg trip inside. And man, just goes to work here. Postures up, and that's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee in charge, Steve Ward, has seen enough, steps in, calls a halt to this bout due to strikes. The official time, 38 seconds of round number one. Your winner by TKO, Jeremy Stopa.